For all those who just joined, my name's Anthony. I'm on the trade desk here at tastytrade. Today, we are going to be going over our desktop platform, specifically how to trade stock on this platform. Joining me today, I have Christian and Andy, who are also on the trade desk, and they'll be here to answer any questions you may have. You can just feel free to toss those in the chat or Q&A section. Just before we get started, as a disclaimer here, everything that you see today is for demonstrative purposes only, and none of it should be treated as any type of trading advice or anything along those lines. Again, everything that we're talking about today in terms of like trading stock and whatnot, it's all for demonstrative purposes only. So none of that should be taken as trading advice at all. All right, and then just so you're all aware as well, I'm currently operating on one monitor, so I kind of won't see questions as they roll into the chat here during the demo. But like I said, we'll go ahead and open things up here during the last 10-15 minutes or so for any questions that you all may have, and then I could go over those specifically on the platform. So if there's something I missed during the demo, don't worry, I'm not ignoring you. Andy or Christian should be able to answer it, but then we'll circle back at the end. So getting right into things here on the desktop platform. This is going to be your main page where most of you are starting out. Excuse me, let me get those tools out of the way. Okay, so this is going to be the main page that most of you see here on the desktop platform. At the top of the page here, this is going to be our active symbol area. So as you can see right now, we have SPY, that's in the active symbol box here. To the right of there, we have the IV rank displayed, the last size, today's change, and you could also see the current bid or the ask. And then to the right of there, we also have our symbol description, as you can see right here. And then under the active symbol mode there, we have the current chart for SPY. So you'll notice as we change this symbol here, so if we go to the upper left box here and just type in, let's say Ford, for example, you'll notice now the chart for Ford populates in the middle of the screen here. Okay, so you'll see that chart populates in the middle of the screen. And yeah, so just getting right into things here, in order to go ahead and start trading stock on the platform, you can do that a few different ways. The easiest way, in my opinion, is actually going to be from the trade tab here. We have a few different trading modes which we offer. That trade tab can be found right here. So if you go ahead and just left click on that, right away, it brings us, boom, right to our active trader mode, which is actually the one I wanted to start with here. So if you're trading stock, this is going to be one of the easiest ways that you could do it. On this active trader mode, you'll see here at the top, we have quite a few different modes, but right now we're in the active mode. On this active trader mode, this is all going to be based off of the watch list that you currently have selected. So in the Tasty platform here, we do have a couple of preset watch lists which you can choose from. You're also able to load any custom watch lists that you've created. You're able to load those in as well. And if you're interested in how to create a watch list, we won't be touching on it here today, maybe at the end if anyone has a question, but we cover that pretty thoroughly in our general overviews, which can be found on our YouTube page. We also have a Help Center article on how to create those watch lists. So if anyone's interested, I'm sure Christian or Andy will be able to link that in the chat or Q&A section for you all. But just to touch on this here, again, this active trader mode is going to be all based on the watch list that you currently have selected. Right now, we have one of the preset watch lists selected, which would be the Dividend Aristocrats. And with this Dividend Aristocrats watch list, this is going to take into account all of the large S&P 500 companies who have been increasing their dividend payments consistently for the last 25 plus years. So that's what makes up the Dividend Aristocrats list. We have a few different preset watch lists, which you can check out as well. So if you go, we have the Tasty watch list where you're able to see like any underlyings near like a 52-week high or low, among a few other things. We have Bat's watch list, Tom's watch list. And then coming down here, you're also able to look at specific sectors and whatnot. But for the time being here, we are going to stay in the Dividend Aristocrats watch list. And in order to queue up a stock trade on the platform here, it's a very, very simple thing to do. You'll notice on the middle of your screen here. Sorry, excuse me, everyone. I'm just trying to get the Zoom drawing tools to cooperate with me here. You'll notice along the middle of your screen here, you have two separate columns. They're going to be the bid and the ask. So wherever you see a bid or an ask on the platform, to queue up a stock trade, all you have to do is simply just left click on either that bid or the ask. If you're looking to sell, so go short the stock, you would click on the bid. If you're looking to go long and buy the shares, you would go ahead and click on the ask. So I will demonstrate that here now. So let's say maybe for Coca-Cola, you come over here and let's say we're looking to buy 1 share of KO. So you go ahead and left click on that ask. And you'll notice now on the active trader mode, it queues up an order here. This is our version of our trading ladder as well. So you'll see that we have a buy order queued up. That is denoted by this green arrow here with this +1. So we are looking to buy 1 share of KO, Coca-Cola. And then to the left here, we also have a bit more information. So on the left-hand side of your screen here, you could see the order type. Right now we have a limit order selected. You also have the time in force, which we will be changing shortly. I'll go over that with you all. We also have the quantity tick. And then we have a few offsets, such as like price offsets and whatnot at the bottom of the page here. You're also able to change the quantity of shares that you're looking to purchase simply by left clicking either these up or down quantity arrows. So if you wanted to increase the amount, you could click the up arrow, decrease it, click the down arrow. You could also type it in here. So if you wanted to type 10, for example, you'll notice now on the right-hand side that it queues up an order to buy 10 shares of Coke. So now that we've kind of went over some general functionalities of how to get the trade started here on the active trader mode, let's go ahead and actually show you all what it looks like once you place the trade. So for this example here, I'm just going to bump this back down to 1 share here of Coke. And then also touching back on the type, you'll notice that obviously market closed here a little less than 40 minutes ago now. So we do offer extended hours trading. That would be an hour before market open and then an hour after market close as well. So for Central Time, 7:30 a.m. Central until 8:30 a.m. Central is the extended hours session. Market opens at 8:30 and then closes at 3 p.m. Central. And then from 3 p.m. Central to 4 p.m. Central, we offer another hour of extended hours trading. So in this case, we'll have to queue up an extended hours order. To do so, you'll need to change the time in force box that you're seeing right here. So right now you'll see we have it set as a day order. We'll have to go ahead and change that to a EXT time in force, which EXT stands for extended hours order. You'll also notice we have a couple different options here. We have the GTC option, which you can use during the day or whenever you'd like. And then also we have a good till date order as well. So with the good till cancel order, that type of order will continue to work until you cancel it yourself. And then with the good till date, that is a type of order that you can select to work until a specific date. But like I said, for the extended hours session here, we'll have to choose the EXT. So we'll go ahead and choose that. And then on the extended hours order here, we can go ahead and change our price for that we would like to submit at. Once again, you can use either the up or down arrow to increase or decrease the price. You could also just simply type it in. So let's say maybe we're looking to get filled here at a price of $61 per share. So once we've reviewed the order, we've gone ahead, we see we want the 1 share of Coke at a price of 61. We have our limit order and then also the extended hours order as well. We have all of that selected. We could go ahead and hit the send button here. You'll notice this will send an order on Coke, and you'll see that working up here in the upper left corner of your screen. And then you'll notice that the, I did want to touch on the right side panel here. So you'll notice with the white lines here on the right-hand side, there's an A and then a B as well. So these white lines that you can see are denoting the extended hours bid and ask. That is represented by these white lines on the right side panel here. And you'll notice right now, obviously, we have our order working well below that. We're all the way down here at a price of $61. So a bit further down. Sorry about that. You have to use I use my scroll wheel to kind of get down that ladder there. But you'll see here we have that working order. This is denoted by this yellow triangle. You see, once again, we are buying. So this is a working order to buy 1 share at $61 or better. So if we're looking to adjust this order, one way we could do that is simply by left clicking and then left click and drag up the ladder here to increase the price that we're submitting it. So as we drag it up to 61.22, you'll notice now in the upper left corner, the previous order cancels and we are now working at 61.22. So we have that order in working. And now I just want to go ahead and show you all what it looks like to actually get a fill here. So if you want to cancel this order, in this case, I'll go ahead and cancel it and then resubmit it at a price closer to what Coke is currently trading at. So if you wanted to cancel this order, what you can do is left click on this orange X right here. And you'll notice now that cancels the order as well. So we don't currently have anything working. So let's go ahead and show you all what a filled order actually looks like here from the active trader mode. If you go ahead, once again, we are left clicking on the ask here, that queues up an order to buy. And I'm just scrolling up the ladder here so you all can see this a little bit better. Currently, we have that order queued up at 61.92. I just want to make sure we are getting filled on this. So once again, we will go ahead and take a look at where the current ask is. It looks like that's 61.97. We'll just go ahead and place the order there. So we are going to go ahead and route this order. And you'll notice we get filled at a price of 61.97. Okay, so now where can you see this order now that you've been filled? Well, first of all, from the active trader mode, you can see it right here. It's denoted by that little by the blue font right there, indicating that you got filled. And as you can see here, it says your basis, and you also have the current last price on Coke as well, which is displayed here. But another place where you could see this filled order, and the one that I would say I probably use the most often at times, would actually be from the positions tab. So if you go ahead and left click on this positions button at the top of your screen here, this will go ahead and take you to our positions tab now. And from here, this is where you can see all of your different filled positions. So you'll notice right now we have quite a bit of, we have quite a few different symbols displaying. That is because there's 2 accounts here. One account is denoted by this pink triangle. The other account, which we are currently trading in, is the one that's denoted by this by this purple circle here. So as you can see here, the Coca-Cola position was placed in the purple circle account. So just go ahead and left click on that line item there, and you'll see that we now have 1 share of Coca-Cola. At the top of your screen here as well, from the positions tab, you'll notice we have a few different column headings. So the first 3, you have your P&L open, the average trade price, which is displayed right here. And then also this is going to be your indicators column. And in this column, you'll notice 2 different icons that you can see. The first is going to be a blue square with a D in it that indicates an upcoming X dividend date. And the days until that are displayed to the right of that. So for Coke, for example, you could see it has an ex-dividend date coming up in 45 days here. Doesn't look like there's earnings coming up anytime soon for Coke, but earnings would be the other icon that's displayed here. That is the purple E with the number displaying next to it. And I'm sure as you've probably guessed by now, that number to the right of the E is going to be the countdown until the earnings date. So for something like AMD, for example, earnings, you have the E and then a 0. So I'm assuming AMD's earnings were announced today, whether that's before or after the bell. I'm not sure offhand here. But one way you could actually look at that, whether or not earnings are before or after the bell, would be from our right side panel here. And I know we're kind of getting off topic here, but I just want to touch on this quickly. One way you could look at that is from the right sidebar here. So if you go ahead and pull that out, you'll notice for AMD, we'll type that in the active symbol box, AMD, and then under overview here, we have some quote details. You have this little bell icon here with the arrow after it, indicating that earnings are after the bell. Actually, they're tomorrow, the 1st. Earnings are after the bell tomorrow on AMD. But now that we've touched on that, back into the stock trading itself. So we have our 1 share of Coke displayed here. And then once you have this share opened, you could actually quickly go ahead and set up a closing order from this positions tab itself. So what you need to do is right click on that share, and you'll notice you get an option here to close the position. You also have the option to bracket it. So what we'll start with first is actually just simply how to close a position. We won't get into actually closing it just yet because I do want to touch on like stop orders and bracket orders as well. But we'll start with the close position here. And you'll notice now this takes us back to the active trader mode where you can line up an order to go ahead and close the position. So once again, now on the left-hand side of your screen, you have the function displayed here, whether you are going to be buying or selling. We're closing that long share, so we will be selling it, which is displayed here by that sell. The quantity is showing as a -1 because we're selling a share. And then once again, you could set your limit price here. And this time on sell orders, as you'll remember when we bought the share of Coke, this section here, this line was all green, indicating that we were buying. In this case, we are going to be selling, so that is now red. Just wanted to check on the chat quickly here. Okay, so that cell is going to be indicated by that red color there. So once again, and now you just need to set your price at which you would like to sell the share of Coke. So we could do that either by clicking or dragging this red arrow icon, or we can manually enter it here itself. I believe before we just type the price in. So I'll show you how to do it with the click and drag here. So if we just go ahead and left click and drag this price up here at the top, we'll drag it up to about 62.06. I don't believe we're going to get filled on that. Yeah, probably not, but we'll send it at 62.06. And then as you'll see, we go ahead and hit that send button and we have that order in working at a price of 62.06, which is denoted at the top of the screen here. All right, so now let's go ahead and actually cancel that order. So we're just going to go ahead and left click and then orange X, and that will cancel the order. Once again, we can go ahead and now I'll show you all how to set up a stop order on the share here. So let's say maybe you want to set up a stop market or stop limit order. In order to do that, what you need to do is go to the left side panel here, and then under the limit, we're going to change, or under the type, we're going to change that from limit. We're going to go ahead and change that now to, we'll start with the stop market order. So you'll notice here as we queue up the stop market order, and I queued this up quickly by just doing the opposite function there. Sorry, I moved a little quick. Just doing the opposite function. So we originally went long the share of Coke. So we click the ask. In order to queue up that stop order, I clicked on the bid here, and that queued up the order to sell. And on the stop order here, this is a stop market order. So we only have one price that we need to set. That would be our stop trigger. So with the stop orders, what happens is once the stop trigger is hit, a market order is routed to close the position. So you set your stop, and then obviously with the market orders, once that's routed to the market, it's guaranteed to fill. However, you are not guaranteed a certain price on that market order once it does fill. But that would be the way to queue this up here. With the stop market order, you have your stop price that you could set here. So you could quickly change that. And you could also click and drag to change that as well. And then once you're satisfied with that stop price, you would just hit go. You go ahead and hit send. Same thing with the stop limit order. You'll notice now we have the ability on the right-hand side here to set two different prices. The first being your stop. So you could once again, click and drag that to set your stop trigger. And then your limit price, you once again go ahead and left click and drag to set that. Sorry, I don't know why I'm setting that above the market. We want long the share here. So you set the stop price, and then also the limit price would be that red arrow that's denoted just by the S and then the -1. Once again, with this stop limit, you're setting two prices. So you have the stop trigger. Once the stop trigger is hit, then a limit order is routed in order to close the position. And with that limit order, it does not guarantee a fill, but it does guarantee a certain price or better if it does get filled. So it would be at your limit price or something better. So limit price or higher in this case, since we're selling the share. And yeah, that would be how you queue up the stop order here on the share of Coke. So we're going to go ahead and actually send this one. So go ahead and hit send. Oops. What did I have here? Oh, I have it set as an extended hours. Whoops. Sorry. So if you go ahead, we're just going to go ahead and change that to day and then go ahead and send that. So with the stop orders, you actually can't send those as extended hours orders. My bad on that. You can only send those as a day or a good till cancel, for example. So anyways, another place you could see this working order, once again, you could see it on your positions tab. So if you left click on the positions tab, you'll notice now we have this working order to close. And you'll want to make sure you have your filter at the top of the page here, the working filter. You want to make sure that you have that selected. Otherwise, the working orders will not show. Another place you could see this working order is actually going to be on the chart itself. So if trading from charts is something that you're interested in, you could actually do it here from the platform as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and load back up the chart here for Coke. In order to do that, we're clicking this icon here, and this will pull up the chart here for Coke. And it looks like it's going to be a little bit difficult for us to see here. You know what? Let me go ahead and actually edit this stop order quickly. We're just going to go ahead and back to the positions tab. One way you could edit this, you could do a replace order. So if you left click on replace, and then we're going to go ahead and actually just bump this stop down a little bit, put a little space in between it so we can actually see it on the chart. Going back over to the chart now, you should see, there we go, much better. So you'll see we have this stop order working. This is denoted by this yellow box with the yellow dashes. You could actually click and drag this box as well in order to edit the order. So if you left click once, and then you'll notice a red X comes up next to it, that's to cancel the order. But if you're looking to just quickly click and drag the order to edit it, you left click once, and then you left click once more to left click and hold now that we're doing. You could go ahead and drag that down and then release, and that will set your new stop. And as you can see in the top left, the other order was canceled. We now have this one working. So in order to cancel this order, what you can do is just left click and then hit the red X here, and we will have canceled our stop order. Now, one more thing I did want to touch on before we get sorry. Okay. All right. Let me show you where to see your rejected orders actually as well. Sorry, folks, for the switch up there. But we did have that rejected extended hours order. In order to see what's going on with the orders you've submitted, so whether they've been canceled, maybe they've been filled, they're working, or in our case, we tried to route that extended hours stop order. It was rejected. One place you could see that is going to be in our activity tab here. So if you go ahead and click on that, it will pull up a log of your recent trades. Right now here, we don't have the canceled filter selected, but I'll go ahead and throw it on. So right now you could see we had a few different canceled orders on Coke. Those are displayed here at the top of the screen. So that all of our different canceled orders. This is our rejected order. So you'll see that we got rejected on that stop order once again because we were submitting it as an extended hours order. I can't submit extended hour stop orders. So that's why that was rejected. And then you could also see your filled order. This was our fill that we originally received. We got filled at a price of $61.97. So this right side here, what you'll notice is on the right-hand side here is going to be the price at which you, this is going to be the price at which you submitted. So that's displayed by this price column here. This is the price we submitted, $61.97. This column on the left here where it says fill, this is going to ultimately be your fill price. So if you're submitting a like market order, for example, what you would see here on the right is MKT for market, and then you would see your fill price on the left. When submitting a limit order, if you were to get a better fill, so you may see different prices depending on what price you got filled at. You would see your limit price you submitted at on the right, and then ultimately your fill on the left. And then on the right-hand side of the page, you also get a quick description of what was done. So you'll notice for the filled order here, it's indicated that we were buying to open 1 share. So you can see that here with the share quantity displayed, and then the green BTO indicates we were buying to open. Then on our recent canceled orders, we were trying to close the order. So you'll see the -1 share, and also the red STC stands for sell to close. All right, folks, I just wanted to touch on one more thing here. Actually, a couple more things, and then we'll go ahead and open it up for questions and whatnot, anything that you guys want me to go over again, or if there's something I didn't touch on, you want to see it, just let me know once we open that up. But anyways, one thing I did want to touch on as well. So we showed you how to set the stop order. We also offer the ability to set a bracket order on shares, and you could do that by right-clicking on the line item showing the share. And once again, we get this menu. From here, you're going to want to click on this bracket button. This will bring up the option to set a bracket order on the share that you opened. So we also offer these bracket orders on options, option spreads. However, you can only set that upon our initial order entry. You won't be able to add it like we are now. That is coming in the future. You're also able to set these bracket orders on futures. So if those are products you're interested in trading, we offer these bracket orders on those as well. So with the bracket order here, we have our initial order entry point. This is going to be our filled share of Coke. Once again, you can see we got filled at price of $61.97. So you can see that obviously was our original order. And then on the right-hand side, we have 2 different boxes. The one at the top of the screen here is going to be your close at profit. This is going to be this green box here at the top. And the one on the bottom is your stop loss, which is denoted by this red box. So pretty simple. But with the close at profit order, this is basically going to be a limit order. So you're setting a limit order at a price at which you would feel comfortable taking a profit on this position. And what your profit percentage is, or whatever you're willing to risk is completely up to you. Once again, these are all self-directed accounts, but in this case, we have ours set right now. Our target profit percentage is set at 5%. You could increase or decrease that using these quantity arrows. You could also, if you didn't want to use the percentage, you could also increase or decrease using the quantity arrows next to the limit price box here, or you could just simply type in an amount. So if we want 64, for example, And you'll notice now that it does the math for you. So it's a 3% gain at a price of $64 if we were to close out there. Moving on, we have our stop loss. Once again, similar to what we just covered, you have the option to do a stop market or stop limit order here in the stop loss section. That can be changed by the stop type button here. So right now we have it set to stop market. Once again, with the stop market, you're only setting one price, which is the stop trigger. Once that's triggered, then a market order to close is routed. But you could change that to a stop limit order simply by left clicking on that stop type and then changing to limit, and boom. Now you'll notice that you have to set two prices. So you have the stop trigger and then also the stop limit that need to be set before the order is routed. So we're going to go ahead and actually route this order. Once again, both boxes have that time and force, which can be selected. They're both set as good till cancel, but you have the ability to route a day order or also a good till date order. So we're going to go ahead and route this bracket order here. Hit the review and send button. It'll ask there'll be one last confirmation page. Let me get these arrows off of your screen so everybody can see. There's one last review page here. Once you're satisfied, you just go ahead and hit this send button. And you'll notice now that we have that bracket order working. So with this bracket order, once again, you could go ahead and if you wanted to edit it, you could go ahead and right click. In this case, we're going to go ahead and cancel it actually. So we're looking to cancel the whole bracket order. You could click on this option here. It says cancel complex order. And you'll notice that the bracket order is now canceled. So how do we actually go about closing this position now? Once again, you could do that few different ways. Like I said, easiest way in my opinion is just going to be from the positions tab here. So you just right click, choose close position. This once again takes us to the active trader mode. We are going to change the type. We're going to change that just back to a regular limit order. And then it looks like we just missed the extended hour section. I talked too much here. So just missed that extended hour session. But anyways, in order to route that closing order, we're going to go ahead and do a limit order, and then we'll do a good till cancel order as well. And we'll set it at a price of, let's see here, maybe we'll go $62. So obviously this is not going to fill since the extended hour session is over, but go ahead and route that order. And once again, we'll have that working, and we should hopefully be able to get that filled at some point tomorrow. Now, just wanted to touch on one more thing here. We do also offer the ability to trade fractional shares on the platform here. The way that I'm going to show you all how to do this is actually going to be from our table mode. So this is what may confuse a lot of people because you choose table and it brings up an option chain here. Don't worry, you're not trading options. You can confirm that by looking in the bottom left corner of your screen here. You can see the order shows KO and then stock as well. But in order to trade fractional shares here on the platform, what you'll need to do is you'll need to type in the specific quantity here. Let's change this to a buy order as well. So you'll need to type in the quantity here. It needs to have a notional value of at least $5 for these fractional shares. So let's see if we were to buy a half a share of Coca-Cola, you'll see here the buying power effect is displayed up in the right corner here as $15.47. Once again, this is a margin account. So only with the current margin requirements, initial requirement is 50%. So we are required to put up 50% of that fractional cost. So fractional cost or half a share of Coke should come out to somewhere a little bit above $31 here. So we're only required to put up half of that amount due to this being a margin account. That's why you're seeing a buying power effect of $15.47. But in order to route that share, so now that you've typed in your quantity, these fractional share orders can only be routed as market orders as well. So we actually won't be able to get one filled since the market's closed, but you have to change the order type to market, and then you would go ahead and hit review and send, and that would go ahead and buy the share of Coca-Cola there. You'll notice we got that rejection message. That's just because we have a working order to close Coca-Cola. So before we could buy any more shares, we would need to cancel any working orders to close that we have. But yeah, that would be it on all I have for you guys today. That's how we trade fractional shares. Is there any questions that you all may have for me? Anything you want to see more of in terms of like trading stock and whatnot? I could certainly go back and show you all what that looks like. Anybody? Any extra questions here? I know I kind of threw a lot there, so I threw a lot at everybody there. So I appreciate you all listening and tuning in. Let's see here. Okay, so Christian wants me to touch on so we'll go with the grid mode, and I'll show you a bit of the pairs trader. Also, let's actually, before I do that, let's go ahead and show you all the research tab. So actually, this is one of the first things I should have touched on, because this is something, especially if you're trading stock, you're probably going to be using a lot. Like if you're wanting to take a look at like company's financials and whatnot, or any recent news that has come out about that company, that can all be found in our research tab here, which is denoted by this little newspaper looking icon on the left-hand side of your screen. So in order to pull that up, obviously you are going to need to left click on it. And this brings up our research slash news tab. So here you have all of Coca-Cola's financials, which you can review here. You have the quarterly, you also can see the annual financials. Their balance sheet, you have their different ratios, which you can review here and whatnot. So if you're trading stock, I mean, this is maybe something that certainly piques your interest. You can see the forecast for Coke. And then also under the news tab here, this is going to show all of the recent news articles that have been put out from about Ford, or sorry, not Ford, Coca-Cola. So if you're interested in reading in any of those articles, you could just simply left click on them and that will pull up the article for you to read. Another one of our trade modes that I wanted to touch on quickly was actually our grid mode. From grid mode, this is another way that you could trade on charts. So once again, trade mode at the top of the screen. Left click, drop down, choose grid mode. From here, you could go ahead and queue up an order to buy stock as well. Just so everyone's aware, on the grid mode, as you'll remember with Active Trader, Active Trader was more so a watch list, but a lot of times, whatever you have in your active symbol here is what's going to populate on the platform. Just a heads up with the grid mode here, you actually have to pull the symbol up here as well. So you'll need to type it in. Right now we have SPY pulled up. But if we wanted to pull up Coca-Cola, type in KO, search, and you'll see that we have our chart once again for Coca-Cola. And if you're looking to buy a share of Coke, once again, at the bottom of your screen here, you have the quantity arrows. So we are buying one share. This is a limit order. Here we have the limit price at $61.98, and we're going to go ahead and hit review and send the order. Once again, you'll notice that the order, well, now it's a little bit hard to see, but the order should be working. Yes, we do have that buy to open here working. But that's how you would trade from grid mode. We have more information on that in our help center. That was a quick little breakdown, but I'm just going to go ahead and cancel that order now. We also offer a pairs trader mode, which can be found here. Once again, under trade mode, you go to pairs. And then from here, you're able to, do a pairs trade. So if you're looking to do something like, well, we have a SPY and QQQ queued up here, where you'd be buying one share of SPY and selling one of Q, or whatever ratio you're looking to do. That's how you would queue it up here with the pairs trader. Once you're satisfied with that, once again, you just hit the review and send send the order in order to route it to the market here. Let's see here. And then lastly, I'm not sure if you all noticed, but with the chart mode here, you'll notice it only shows one chart at a time. We do offer the ability to get access to more charts. That would be from our tastycharts tab here. So under that chart icon on the left side of your screen, it's going to be this icon with the 4 squares. This is our tastycharts mode here. And from tastycharts mode, you actually get the ability, based on your resolution or screen size, you could actually show 4 charts here at once. Right now, I only have the ability to show 2 because I'm working from a smaller monitor. So I only have the ability to show 2. But you could actually, like I said, you could get 4 on here, and you, in order to change that, you just once again use these columns and rows buttons in the upper right corner. And with the tastycharts feature, you could actually detach that as well. So if you're working from multiple monitors, you just click this button here in the upper left corner of the tastycharts section, and this will detach the tastycharts. So you could drag them to a different monitor or clear up some screen space and whatnot, so that's a very, very useful tool as well. But yeah, that looks to be all I wanted to touch on for you guys here today. Once again, I mean, before we get wrapped up here, are there any extra questions that you all may have? Anything I missed, anything you want to see more of? I could certainly go back and touch on that quickly here. Otherwise, I think we are just about out of time. I know Christian and Andy, I'm sure they had long days today, so I'm sure they're looking to maybe get home today. So I won't keep them much longer if no one else has any questions here. Bruce, okay, I see your question here in the Q&A. Yes, you can buy stock on margin. So you'll notice if you have an account, if you have a tastytrade account, tastytrade margin account, that is funded with $2,000 or more, you'll notice that actually your stock buying power will be 2 times your option buying power. So we do allow the ability to purchase stock on margin on the platform here. Great question. Let's see, Chris, how do you activate the fractional trade? My trade box is grayed out. Okay, you are in the trade tab. Okay, Chris, so just to touch on that once more, we are going to be going to the trade tab here. And then from the trade tab, I like to personally queue it up in the table mode. So at the top of your screen here, we're going to the trade mode, clicking that drop down, and then we're choosing table. So this brings up the traditional options chain here. And we'll try it on a different, I know we've got a couple working orders on Coke, so we'll try it on something different. Let's say Ford, for example. And what you could do to get this order queued up, this is also another really handy feature on the platform. Anywhere where you see a bid or an ask, I know I showed you all how to queue the orders up from the active trade mode. That's a very, very useful tool. But if you're in a pinch and you're just trying to get something queued up, anywhere where you see on the platform like a bid or an ask, it's a one-click platform. So I mean, you could just simply queue up an order that way. So from this active symbol mode at the top, if we just wanted to buy a share of Ford, you just left click on the ask up here, and that queues up an order at the bottom of our screen. Now, Chris, in order to change the quantity here, you'll actually need to left click on the box itself, delete the quantity, and then type in the fractional quantity. And just so you're all aware, you won't be able to route like a whole share and a fractional portion at the same time. You'll have to do that separately. So if you're looking to buy like 2.5 shares, you'll have to first buy the 2 shares and then queue up in order to buy the fractional share. So the half share. So that'll have to be done on 2 separate orders. So in this case, we have the 0.75 queued up here. And once again, you would just hit review and send, and that should send the order. Great, you got it? Okay, perfect. All right, everybody, that is all I had for you. Seems like that's all the questions you may have had for me. Thank you all for joining us today. We certainly appreciate the support and coming out here to our stock trading demo. We will have some more demos lined up. So we have a general overview, which I believe is going to be on the 8th. But yeah, we have a general desktop overview coming up here. So if you haven't checked one of those out yet, I highly suggest it. It's a very, very informative session. And then, yeah, we also offered some more specific sessions, such as like how to trade options or how to trade futures. Those videos are uploaded on our YouTube page. So if you were interested in checking those out, please just head over there. And yeah, thanks again, everybody. I certainly appreciate it. Yeah, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. And yeah, we appreciate all the support. Thanks, everybody.